What's up, guys? This is Automotive Anonymous. What I do are car reviews, 0 to 60s, and other cool stuff. If you like my content, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. Otherwise, we're gonna get right into it. This is the all-new Maverick, generously borrowed by Twin Falls Subaru in Southern Idaho, so I'll link it below if you're interested. Otherwise, let's get right to the walk around, the specs, driving impressions, 0 to 60, and final thoughts to see if it's worth your time and money. These started in 2022. 2023, the only upgrade is that you can now get the Tremor package, which involves a little bit more aggressive suspension and styling. They start at $22,000, and this is an XLT with the FX4 off-road package. One of the reasons why this one looks so nice and quite loaded. It's the red hot pepper color, and they're the same platform as the baby Bronco or the Bronco Sport. It's an 8-speed with a 2-liter turbo. Gets 22 city, 29 highway, so with a 16.5 gallon tank located right there on the passenger side, that's 478 miles. If you really want a road trip, you're gonna have a good time. Has a 225, 65, 17 all-season Scorpion all-terrain tire, same type of tire as the Lariat F-150 I just hopped out of. They're roughly 16.6 feet long, 6 feet wide, and 5.3 feet tall. And this puppy weighs 3,600 pounds. That's pretty heavy for a puppy, but depending on the tow package you have, these can actually tow up to 4,000 pounds. So you could be towing a Maverick behind a Maverick. They have about 8.3 inches of ground clearance if it's a front-wheel drive edition. All-wheel drive like this though gets 8.6, so it's pretty capable. That's similar to like a Subaru. And if it's a Tremor, you could actually get 9.4, which is quite good. Has a 363 rear end. And then just look at the styling. The red hot pepper looks cool. You have the black accents throughout, and then just some plastic door handles, plastic grille, looks really good. Tow hooks on the front, they're painted black. The side markers right there. And you of course have the pin code button to get in. But let's open the door, let's see what's inside. On the door panel, you get some pretty cool materials that look like they're recycled. You got a soft touch armrest. You have a bottle holder. You could probably fit like a maybe 157-page novel right there, and then 1 or 2 of your kids' cell phones if they get in trouble in the back seat. You have the little speaker here, orange accents throughout. Nothing on the door sill plate, hood release, rubberized pedals. Maverick on the all-weather floor mats, and then trailer brake, some lighting options right there. And really cool cloth seats with 10-way power adjustments. No embroidery or stamping. You do get a sunroof up top, I'll show you in just a minute. But let's get in. And let's fire it up. And something cool about the Maverick is it has an actual key, but also has remote start on it. Fires right up and it's really quiet. Has a nice center display. We're gonna close the door so it quits beeping at us. Otherwise, you got all the volume and audio controls on the left. You have more controls for the center display in the center. It doesn't have too many features, but this is the lowest model of a truck you can get these days. Leather steering wheel. It is heated, which feels really nice. You have heated seats. You have physical buttons, which are easy to control. It's just a single zone climate control. Orange accents again throughout. You have a pretty decent sized screen with hidden storage right there and up top. And then it goes pretty far back, almost to the firewall, it feels like. For more storage, you could fit your phone up there so it's angled at you. You could fit a lot of other cool stuff back there. Probably about half a cubic foot of snacks if you really needed it. And then you get the scrolly dial. Reverse camera is decent. When you turn the wheel though, you just get the center line that turns. So that's kind of nice. 2 cup holders of adequate size. Another little storage pocket there, electronic parking brake. And then a few other features where this one is fairly loaded. This one goes through the different modes. So you have normal mode, tow haul, slippery, mud ruts, and sand. Another pocket for some storage. You don't get any USBs or aux ports in here, but it is fairly deep. It's about 60% the length of my forearm in there, I'd say. And then up top, manual sunshade, and you get the sliding sunroof, which is pretty cool. but it doesn't tilt, it only slides. And then no garage door openers or other options by the rear view mirror. So let's turn off the car, hop in the back. The back seat, the design follows suit. It's pretty interesting, and I actually like it. The pocket doesn't bellow out very wide, but you do easily have enough room for like 2 bottles and then just some extra little storage down there. Nothing on the door sill plate. You can lift the seats, but it lifts as a unit. And if you can see down there, there's a lot of room. The Maverick makes really good use of its room. And then if we're gonna sit behind yourself in the mini truck, at 5'11", it's surprisingly spacious, especially the headroom. I have a pretty good view of up front. I probably personally have 1 to 1.5 inches above my head, so it's no problem there. And my knees could tolerate this for a while. I have an actual 120 volt outlet, USB-C, USB, and then another little storage there for like holding up a bag of chips or something. That way, when you drop the cup holders, you could probably have like a little bottle of dip and just go from the chip to the dip to the mouth, and then have your drink, your Pepsi or your Coke right there. The armrest is pretty sturdy on this, but it's not very long. It doesn't extend out very far, so if you have a drink, you're gonna be having an awkward time. Going around to the bed, no power options back here. It just drops, but it is lined. You have a legit 120 volt outlet in the back, LED lighting, and a few tie downs throughout. These are pretty capable little trucks, especially with the payload of what they are, of around 1,500 pounds. Those black wheels do look very good. And if you're checking up on the other passenger in the back seat, door panel looks very similar. I think these materials could age probably pretty well, but time will tell. You have 1 map pocket, so that's where your backseat driver is going to sit. Backpack sitting nice and safe, and then you have the handle or the rope back here to grab it, to pull it. You get your tire changing tools down there, and it's not insulated super well back there, but again, that's kind of the theme of this model, is it's affordable and it offers a lot of good stuff for what it is. If you're checking up on the shotgun rider, can you fit a shotgun? Door panel looks very similar to the driver, minus a few of those extra controls that you would get. Nothing on the door sill plate. You have manual recline features and slide features, but those seats look really cool. It's kind of like a retro look. And then non-locking glove box, no outlets, USBs, anything like that in there, but it's actually pretty deep. You can fit a lot of good stuff in there. Time to go around, see what's hiding under the hood. Pop the hood. There it is. There's the 2-liter turbo. Makes about 250 horse and about 277 pound-feet of torque, so it's pretty stout in a vehicle that weighs only 3,600 pounds. You got air induction through the grill, to the filter, through all the magical piping, plumbing that makes the Spinny Boy turbo make all that power. You have the battery up top, positive terminal, negative terminal. You have the brake fluid reservoir. Over here you have the coolant reservoir, windshield washer, fill, and dipstick 5W30 full synthetic. It's right up top, easy to get to. And the serpentine belt, the alternator right below it. It's traversely mounted because the platform starts as a front wheel drive platform, but these are pretty cool. Let's drop the hood, take it for a drive. And we're gonna teleport inside and see how it rides on the road. Initial driving impressions of the all-new Ford Maverick is it's a cool little mini truck. Although it's bigger than the Ranger was a few years ago before the redesign came out. It is a mini truck by today's standards. And it's really a nice place to be and sit. This one having the upgraded powertrain, the 2-liter turbo and the all-wheel drive, it's quite capable. And it's pretty quick, check this out. You'll see on GPS in a little bit, it's about as fast as a WRX, a turbo Subaru in general, and some of those other light competition cars, even like the Focus ST and some of those vehicles that this powertrain is almost out of. Visibility is really good, really cool accents. All those repurposed materials in here are just really neat. I do actually like the orange accents throughout, but I don't know how those would age with you as a person, if you're gonna like those for a long time or if you'll ever get tired of them. armrest is kind of narrow, the support, but it is comfortable. And this small of a cabin, you really don't need anything wider than that, where it's pretty close to you. Same with the console armrest, it does a pretty good job. Cup holders are certainly out of the way, and you have amp loads amount of storage down there, so that's really handy. Steering wheel feels good with the heated settings on. It's not as hot as a lot of the other heated steering wheels I've been in lately, but the heated seats are actually better than most other vehicles I've been in, where my back almost feels too hot the way I like it. Definitely a lot warmer than the Subarus I've been in, and similar to the Mazdas I've been in. I wish we had a bigger 6 o'clock handle position. You can only fit about 2 fingers in there, maybe 3 pinkies if that's what you have to work with, but otherwise that would be nice, but that's more of a full-size vehicle wheel. There's not very many blind spots on this where it's a truck. I feel like I have really good visibility on the B and the C pillars. Power's great, but when you let off the gas, there is a little bit of rev hang. That was probably about a full second before it started to drop back down. I'm sure you can tune that out if you were into the aftermarket world on this. Otherwise, road noise, it's not bad, but there's better offerings. If you get into like a higher model by Ford or other vehicles, they're going to be more insulated than this. This, of course, is kind of the budget one. And auto start stop. It took, actually I'm going to show you. We're going to let it take effect right there. I really couldn't feel that, and then I'm going to come off of the gas right now, and it was quite smooth. So although I don't necessarily like auto start stop because I don't know how long term it's going to be for the engine, everyone's doing it. It must be decent. I haven't really heard of any issues with it, and Ford does a great job keeping it smooth to where you might not even notice it at all. The wheelbase on this is decent. It's similar to a lot of other vehicles of this size, so bumps in the road, things like that, aren't too obtrusive to your driving experience. Being low to the ground, it doesn't feel like it flows in the wind, sways back and forth. You feel pretty well planted on this vehicle, and the fact that you can pretty much tow a Maverick behind a Maverick depending on how it's spec'd is pretty cool. That these are, at the end of the day, a truck, even though they're front-wheel drive biased with their all-wheel drive system. They are very capable, and they're pretty cool. But let's get to our 0 to 60. I want to see how fast this 2-liter turbo is. Let's get to our private road now. And 0 to 60 density altitude's about 3,000 feet, so we're down on power about 5%. I'll brake rev it. We're in normal mode. We're going to see what it can do. I'll verbalize the true 0 to 60, and then I'll post the GPS graph after the bottom left shows what it'd be rated without the foot of rollout by the magazine on the same road, same test. Here we go. That pulls really hard, especially off the line up to 40. After that, it keeps pulling, but you can feel it drops down just a little bit. True 0 to 60 in the 6.79 range. I'm sure without the foot of rollout, it's a couple tenths faster. Not bad. Here's that GPS graph, and we'll get to our final thoughts. Final thoughts of the all-new Ford Maverick is these are really cool. They compete against the Santa Cruz, as many of you guys know if you're already checking out this video. It's pretty quick. That 0 to 60 time is no joke for something like this and in the price range that these are. Remember, this one's pretty well loaded and it has a lot of good options. LED lighting, good powertrain, it can tow itself, you know, over 8 inches of ground clearance. There's really a lot that you could do in a vehicle this size, and if you don't need a full-size truck or even what a mid-size truck has become, this may be the option for you. It looks great with those dark wheels, and it just handled the road really well. Only time will tell how these hold up, but I'm thinking that this is going to be a very high volume seller for Ford. We know that their F-150s sell about 750,000 units a year, so I'm interested to see how many of these are sold moving forward. If you like my video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. There's more stuff coming every week, and otherwise, check it out down there if you guys are interested in this specific model. Take care, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.